District of England. Headed off for the first game of the World Cup, and typical British weather, it's overcast, cloudy, and gray. So, got a rain jacket in the car, fully expecting it to rain. You never know what's going to happen here. But welcome back to the program. Little brekkie, as some South Africans like to say, even some Brits say brekkie. It kind of sounds kind of weird to me, but I don't say brekkie, but breakfast with the Colonel. So, though I'm not eating, I'm having Coca-Cola. Well, I'll sit here and chat with you guys. A little bit of news to talk about here. The world is crazy as ever. Nothing seems to have changed. We've got federal judges intervening here in places they have no business intervening. A federal judge has ordered the government to dismantle much of Alligator Alcatraz. U.S. District Judge Kathleen Williams of Southern District of Florida said Thursday the government had 60 days to remove fencing, lighting, generators, sewage, and other parts of the Florida facility. Ordered a halt to new construction, said it shouldn't accept any new detainees. A Florida state official filed notice of appeal soon after that order came. The facility, designed to hold several thousand criminal alien invaders, was built on top of a little-used airstrip in the Everglades Wetlands Preserve. A pair of nonprofits filed a lawsuit in June, alleging the government failed to conduct the required environmental impact review and ignored other legal requirements. The Miccosukee tribe of Indians in Florida joined the lawsuit, saying that the runoff from the facility is likely to pollute their homes a few miles downstream. The ruling is a setback to the Trump administration. The Florida facility become the first several state-operated immigrant detention centers. Yeah, this is demonic how evil these bastards are at trying to keep our country full of criminal alien invaders, rapists, murderers, terrorists, pedos. It's just insane how that's what see, this isn't about the environment. Don't for a second. Maybe the tiny little Indian community there may have a point, but these other people, they don't care about the environment. They care about keeping criminals in America. That's what it's all about. It's about keeping criminals in America. That's all they care about. These people are treasonous bastards. Judge required the government to begin removing the new temporary structures and paving once the current population dwindles to a point where safety concerns lessen. Where does this judge get this authority? This is not, there's no law being broken here. The environmental groups who sued Thursday evening said the order was necessary to protect the area's fragile ecosystem. Well, now it's time to check the finances of these environmental groups and to ensure that they're legitimate and that they comply with the law in every respect. And if they have one transgression, they made one mistake, dismantle them, remove the nonprofit status, and sue them into oblivion. Yep. Is that spiteful? You're right, it is. You're right, it is. Anyone who wants to keep treason going in our country deserves to hear that spiteful comment. Yeah. So here's the Wall Street Journal, which is now captured, as I've said. It's a captured journal. It used to be a conservative business newspaper, but it's just a captured outlet. They set out to find the American dream. They're stuck in a Mexican nightmare. I'm sorry. You didn't set out to find the American dream if you came here illegally. If you sought to enter our country, invade our country, violate our sovereignty, cross the border illegally, that's not seeking the American dream. That's seeking to rob America of its dream. In Juarez, Cesar Atenasio and Linda Arias rushed with their two small children towards U.S. border in January, aiming to beat the crackdown on immigration President Trump had promised when he returned to office. They didn't make it. See, they tried to enter the country illegally because they're criminals. Crossing Mexico's Chihuahuan desert in a van on a frigid morning, they were stopped by gang members posing as police and kidnapped for ransom. They told us they had good news and bad news. The bad news was that President Trump and the border was closed. The good news was that for them, smugglers would be able to get them across if they paid more. So let's see what else they got to feel guilty for them here. What does it say? Countries from Ecuador to Costa Rica, Guatemala are becoming more restrictive for migrants. Two latecomers to the largest movement of people in the region's modern history are stuck in limbo all around the Americas. Few are returning home. The violence, the political persecution, and the galloping inflation that drive them from countries including Venezuela, Haiti, and Ecuador persist. Well, I guess they're stuck in Mexico, which is where they should have been in the first place. We want to find a safe place, but all the doors keep shutting. Well, that's nice. I appreciate you want to find a safe place, but you bring your broken culture, your broken violence, your broken behavior, along with all your compadres to America, and spread your MS-13s and spread your pedos and spread your criminals. You steal Social Security numbers, and I don't want to hear these are good people. If they're good people, then they would apply to immigrate. Simple as that. No country is responsible for taking on the world. And 30 million illegals is far too many. Kidnappers released the family after a month in exchange for $1,000. Mexican state prosecutor records show. The family has lived in a shelter on the border city in Juarez since then. He's worked construction and food delivery. Well, there you go. He's illegally in Mexico. He's got a job. So why do you need to come to America? You've got safety. You're in Juarez. Their fate and well-being are part of a mounting political challenge for Latin American leaders, including President Sheinbaum. She has sought to earn the goodwill of the U.S. on matters including trade by fighting drug cartels more aggressively than her predecessors and helping curb illegal migration to the U.S. Now, with Mexico's economic ties with its largest trading partner as uncertain as ever, the ramifications of Trump's immigration policies are giving her new domestic problems to solve. Well, you Mexicans created this problem. You allowed these criminals to invade our country. Yep. Atanacio's odyssey began in 2018 when he joined 8 million people who fled political persecution and economic collapse in Venezuela under authoritarian leader Nicolas Maduro. Well, you people voted for him. You voted for him. Yeah, just like we unfortunately supposedly voted for Joe Biden, you voted for Maduro. So you get what you voted for. It doesn't mean you get to escape and come to America because you lost because you picked this guy. He crossed the border into Colombia, where he worked at restaurants. Some let him work without a passport or birth certificate. He met Arias, moved in with her, and started a family. For 2 years, he worked at an arpia shop. Anyway, family watched the river migrants pass through the journey towards U.S. Everyone's doing it. They made it seem easy. That's why. That's why you criminals invade America, because it's easy. Everyone was doing it. They made it seem easy. Yeah, it was easy because you criminal, scumbag, alien invaders invaded America. It's simple as that. They're not migrants. Migrants apply to come to the country. They get a visa. They enter the country. They do temporary work, and then they leave. Immigrants apply to come to the country. They come to the country. They obey the laws and mores and norms and values. They accept the standards. They assimilate to a degree necessary, and then they stay here. Yeah, and they eventually become naturalized citizens. That's a migrant. That is an immigrant. These are criminal alien invaders. Worn out from low wages and high crime, they decided to join. But they don't mention any high crime they've been a victim of. They weren't a victim of any high crime. Unlike South Africans, these people weren't victims of crime. It's all in their head. The couple packed their lives into a couple rucksacks. They hid their life savings inside hair ties nestled among their clothes. The night before they departed, they whispered to each other in bed, "We have nothing to lose." They joined the caravans of migrants wading through Panama's Darien Gap jungle, crossing rivers and climbing mountains with the youngest child, Simon, an infant, strapped to her chest. And then he knocked her up and she had another child. This is lovely. There's photographs of them here. This is pretty interesting, folks. That people taking pictures of them along the way. So isn't this interesting? Was this all part of a staged plot? Look at this. So look, they have photographs of these people as they make their journey. Look at this, washing the baby in a creek somewhere in Central America. Isn't that fascinating? Sounds to me like the whole thing is staged bullshit by a bunch of leftists trying to invade America. So they're able to take photographs of their journey. Oh my goodness. They fell behind their group and got lost. Their tent collapsed under torrential rains. They said they got lost, so they're all by themselves, but they have photographs, professional photographs taken. Black and white photographs. Yeah. Shame on the Wall Street Journal. It's a disgrace to finance. Once a reliable publication, nothing but a rag now. Now they have 2 boys because he knocked her up en route while they're escaping. Things were so desperate they had time to knock boots and produce children. Yeah. Anyway, they're held by kidnappers for 25 days. Empathy level's pretty low on that one, folks. Pretty low. Sorry. Go to hell. Bantu Holomisa clashed with radio callers over age, arrogance, and politics. See, now they're going after Bantu Holomisa because Minister 30% has been proven to be completely inept, and I've called for her to be removed and be replaced by Bantu Holomisa, and almost as if on call, now they're attacking Bantu Holomisa. Deputy Minister of Defense and military veterans Bantu Holomisa did not mince his words on live radio, telling a caller and presenter to go to hell during a heat exchange on Gagisa FM's current affairs show last night. The drama began when a listener called and said politicians older than 65 should step aside for younger people. Well, whoever that said that is an idiot. No one should step aside for competent. When someone is 60, 65 is how they retire. No. People who are 65 say must get out of positions, make way for young people. Give us a chance to work. No. People are 65, 60, 60. God bless. Construction site, man. You can't find peace and quiet in this country. Trust me. It doesn't exist. There's no privacy in this country at all. Between the cameras spying on you everywhere you go, people making noise, everywhere you go, people pop up. It's something always happening. There is no solitude in this country. No wonder the animals have gone bat crap crazy. Anyway, people 60, 65 are the ones who generate the jobs. They create the conditions to create business, create jobs. So this idiot should shut up that called him. The leader of the UDM shot back. That's nonsense. Nelson Mandela was 72 when he was released in 1990. He became president in his 70s. Age doesn't matter. You're mistaken if you think young people are automatically smarter. No, they're not. Usually they're stupider. They're much dumber younger people. They don't know what the experience does count. The Constitution doesn't say people over 67 should stop participating in politics. What we need is a generational mix. Agreed, General. Agreed. When more callers weighed in, Holomisa's patience wore thin. When one went on too long, he interrupted. Baba, please be quick. We're not going to be lectured here. Another caller accused Holomisa of being arrogant, to which he replied, that's a compliment. If I'm arrogant, you're arrogant too. Thank you. Bye-bye. I love that, Holomisa, man. When challenged again by a frustrated listener who said politicians can't answer questions, but were voted into power, Holomisa clapped back, you didn't vote for me. Don't talk lies. Exactly. The angry exchange escalated when a listener told Holomisa he was useless and vowed to never vote for him. The host asked the deputy minister to retract his remarks after he told the caller to go to hell. No, you're a useless host. You allowed your callers to be so abusive towards a respectful person like General Holomisa. To hell with you. You can say go to hell. Oh, it was. He refused. He says, I'm not going to do that. If you're not satisfied, you can go to hell too. Snap. Oh, snap. The interview ended after his outburst. That wasn't an outburst. Well, I'll tell you what. Your corrupt, captured, leftist, scumbag, hate-wanking media may not want to do proper interviews with General Holomisa, but I've done plenty of them, and I'll get him back on the air, and we'll have a conversation as soon as possible. Oh, my goodness. And we'll talk about the age issue. It's funny how smart-ass, arrogant little pricks today who don't know anything about the world say the problem is that people are older. When I was 18 and 20, I never said that. Never said that. This shows you how arrogant, privileged, and selfish little pricks these people are. The world is so different. So full of people like this. Well, Trevor Manuel wants South African citizens to take ownership of the 2027 Cricket World Cup. Yeah. Yep. Long after last ball is bowled, what remains behind is the question. Well, unused stadiums, white elephants, and pockets stuffed full of dollars of corrupt South African politicians. That's what will remain, Trevor. He looks a lot different. He acknowledged that he knew little about sports administration, but he felt it was too important to pass up the opportunity not to help in preparation of the 2027 Cricket World Cup, which South Africa will host. This will be a miracle to see them pull that off. The former finance minister will chair the 12-member local organizing committee, which was unveiled on Thursday. It will get to work ensuring a smooth running of the tournament in 2 years' time. I've done many things in my life. Sports administration is not one of them. Trying to do this so late in life is a big learning experience for me. It's a very gratifying experience. Well, I'll tell you what, if you're going to put it in the hands of somebody, Trevor Manuel's probably not a bad person to put in the hands of. Too many criminals out there. So it's good to see him there. Let's see what else. We try for 8 months to get this together. Our job is fairly small. It is beyond the boundary. What happens when the boundary is what Cricket South Africa organizes. That regardless of the pitches, the venues, we have to make sure the infrastructure around the runs properly. It's a big challenge. Well, good luck to you on that one, Trevor, because the roads are crap, the airports are crap, the trains are crap, some of the venues are crap. You know, the State Department wants to brief agents that permanent residence criteria will change. Must have stable employment. I have no idea what you're talking about there. Must have stable employment involved in their community upstanding. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Philip, what are you talking about? Obviously, there was enough characters for you to finish that thought. So please finish the thought. Yeah, I can see them clearly being suppressed once again while I'm overseas. I'm in UK, and my videos are getting no promotion whatsoever. I haven't had a video over 20,000 since I've been here. I've produced 6 videos. Not a single one has gone over 20,000. It's like they put a little little border there that's not going to go past that. We're gaining a few subscribers here and there, but the videos aren't getting much traction. They aren't being seen. Let's see how the lives are doing. The lives are demonstrably lower than usually. Usually I have 8 to 10,000 of these things per view. 5,000 is usually the least, and my biggest live stream since I've been here, which would have been on the 19th, 6,500 was the first one, and that went for a long time. And then 3,800, 2,900, 2,500. Yeah, clearly they're suppressing my content once again. Unbelievable. What are you so afraid of? Tell my viewers that it's here. Let them come decide for themselves whether they'll watch it or not. Anyway, okay, that's immigrant, Philip. That's not refugee. That's not a refugee. That's an immigrant. You said immigrant. Refugees are not immigrants. All right? So be clear, Philip. Are you talking about refugees or immigrants? Hey, Arctic, what's going on? Arctic says morning, so I know which side of the world he's on. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. They're hiding. They're not notifying people. That's why people aren't here, because they don't know that the broadcast is on. Yeah, it's very frustrating. Anyway, this won't be a long broadcast, folks. It's payday. So where's your super chat, Arctic? Yeah, I know you guys aren't getting notifications. That's the point I'm making. It's called suppression. If you are a subscriber and you selected all notifications, every time that a content creator goes live, every time the content, even if it's a short notice content or live, every time a content creator produces content, you should be getting notified. I never get notified of Morning Shot. I have every notification. I no longer get notified of Ronaldo streams. It's bullshit. Yes, I'm applying for citizenship, immigrants and all applicants. Yes, exactly. Well, that's how it should be, Philip Holtz. All those people should meet those standards. We should just give people permanent residency or citizenship that have no fealty or loyalty to America. I mean, look at this guy in California, this Sikh who couldn't speak English. Oh, there's a super chat. Not from. Thank you. Must be salty cracks for Arctic. That's a small one for him. Thank you for the 40 red. No, he does get paid in dollars. That's why I'm a little confused by. I guess the exchange rate's not going the direction you want. He wanted a lot more rand. So, anyway, I got off track where I was going with this. Long time. Hey, how's it going, JJ? Hope you're well, and thanks for your content. You're welcome. Child will be able to travel with you is given. Huh? No idea what that's supposed to say. Unpaid work and old folks homes. Yeah, no, I mean, people who come to the country. Okay, back to the guy, the Sikh guy. So he couldn't speak English. He was granted a CDL, a commercial driver's license, driving a semi-truck in California. He failed the driving test. He got 2 out of 12 written questions correct, and he couldn't identify a single sign correctly. And they gave the guy a license to operate a heavy vehicle, and he killed 3 Americans. Illegal immigrant, illegal Sikh in America, killed 3 people, should not have been in the country. Your visa has to be renewed? I thought, okay, I'm a little confused already. Don't go into your personal details here, but I thought you had permanent residency. Maybe I'm wrong. No, not permanent residency. I thought you had a visa that lasted like 5 years or 10 years. I guess it isn't. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, no, I'm sure my embassy is messing up. They're overwhelmed because people submitting their statement of work 4 times. Statement of interest, not statement of work. Sorry, I'm thinking contract needs. Statement of interest. So bully for Bantu Holamisa told these clowns to knock it off. You don't need the unabridged birth certificate to travel. You never have. And I've never made that claim. From the moment you all brought the term up, I never heard it before. You need a passport to travel. If you've got kids from South Africa, I don't even know if they require you to have that stupid, having the birth certificate for them to get out of the country. That was the case for bringing kids into the country. Supposedly it's a method to prevent trafficking in children, but it's nonsense. All it does is piss people off who are tourists, telling them that they're expected to hand carry the original birth certificate all over the world so they can be stolen in South Africa. I don't think so. And if they stopped that stupidity, then tourism to South Africa would have increased a bit. But telling parents that they have to bring the original birth certificates for their children if they want to visit South Africa is stupid. In a country where people steal phones and paperwork every 5 seconds, why in the world would you take your birth certificate to South Africa? Just don't go to South Africa. There's plenty of other places to go. Yeah, exactly. Arctic didn't even ask for it. Okay. When you came back in the country, you mean, or you went out? See, I don't know about going out of the country. I know that coming in the country, you had to have it. It's some stupid law they passed about 10, 15 years ago. And Idris Elba couldn't bring his son in. Yeah, you should have a birth certificate. Both. That's what I thought, Arctic. I thought it was both directions, yeah. I know identity theft's a big problem in South Africa, and document theft is a huge problem, yep. You're enjoying your stay in England? Which do you prefer? You prefer USA over England? USA in a heartbeat. But I do like Scotland. But I prefer USA in a heartbeat. Absolutely. USA, Canada, USA. Yep. Easy solution there. Easy discussion. No problem. Right. Okay. So Mark Keohan says that Pollard starts Saturday. Victory is guaranteed for the Springboks. Andre Pollard, I love him and hope he has the appetite to get to the 2017 World Cup in Australia. He is platinum when we talk about Springbok gold. Okay. This was a column I wrote for my blog in October 29th of 2023. Andre Pollard proved that form is temporary, but the class is permanent. Appreciate this guy, South Africa. Love him, respect him, and thank him. Just hold him. Springboks were world champions staying and for the next 4 years because Andre Pollard did not miss a kick at the 2023 Rugby World Cup. Pollard kicked 4 from 4 just like he did against Tonga in the final pool match. He never missed, just like he did in the quarterfinal, semifinal, final. Peter Steph Dutoy made 28 tackles in that final. Dion Free played for 77 minutes as a hooker. This is a guy who's 37 years old and has played most of his career as a flanker. Pick them, the Buck Heroes on Saturday night, you won't be wrong. The Bucks won 12-11 against a team that played 60 minutes with 14 players and against a team in which there was never approval for the captain and coach. Somehow the Bucks won, but they won because Pollard never missed, and between them, Richie Mo'unga and Jordy Barrett, the Kiwi kicking duo, missed with a conversion and a penalty. Margins in the greatest contest are always as fine as you hit and I miss. Our guy hit, New Zealand's duo missed. Anyway, so he loves Andre Pollard. No one but Pollard with Sasha Feinberg and Mzula to provide the punch off the bench. The Bucks will win against Australia on Saturday in arm wrestle, and I believe they will win at Eden Park in Auckland for the first time since 1937 on September 6th. That's pretty cheeky. After their performance last week, I thought they could win one of those games in New Zealand, but Eden Park on September 6th? Let's not hold our breath on that one, folks. Let's not hold our breath on that one. Pollard is the greatest Springbok fly half, and without the two-time World Cup winner, documentaries like Chasing the Sun would not exist. The greats are defined by how they perform in the biggest moments on the biggest stage. Pollard for the Springboks at World Cups has done it more than any other. Number 10 in the history of the Springboks. If the World Cup is a holy grail of professional age, Pollard's performances in the 2019 World Cup playoffs and the 2023 World Cup playoffs makes him South Africa's greatest number 10. It is why his presence on Saturday must give you confidence the Boks will win at home against Australia. It is also why the lesson is to love and say thanks to the likes of Pollard, who has done it so often, and don't dismiss him for the romance of those who have never done it. In Pollard, I trust. Mark, okay. Razor game against the All Blacks, always. Yeah, but we haven't won there since 1937, Charles. What about Nas, Ronaldo? What about Nas? Nas never played in a World Cup. World Cup didn't come along until after Nas's era. Yeah, even in summer, England looks cold. Hey, Ronaldo, what's going on, man? Oh, my goodness, somebody woke up Ronaldo. It must be, well, it's almost 11. He's bound to get up by now. You know, these retired politicians, they take their day kind of easy. They relax. He's busy with a mint julep and Amarula sitting on the counter there, enjoying himself. Probably got Kenny on one side and Carter on the other side, you know, because he likes these presidents. He's just hanging out with them, having an Amarula, chilling. Says Fitnut did all the crap long before. No. Ronaldo, obviously you must have tuned in late. I'm reading what Mark Keohane came up with. I'm not saying he's the best number 10. Mark Keohane from the Times Live is saying he's the best number 10 in Springbok history. What did Charles say? The other hand, Darren. Huh? Okay, not sure what you guys are going on about, but yeah, so... Please pay $21 million. Pensions agency suspends financial manager after he raises red flag. A finance controller and the second senior manager threatened with disciplinary action after request of the finance minister to investigate previous contracts. So that's now whistleblowers are being targeted with action because they report fraud. No, I don't like Joel Stransky the best as number 10. No. Morning Stan is my favorite number 10. He's my favorite number 10. The Government Pensions Administration Agency, although Sasha is rapidly becoming my favorite number 10. He's my favorite all-around player. The Government Pensions Administration Agency suspended a senior finance executive who declined to pay more than $21 million in invoices that were flagged for forensic investigation. He's the second senior employee threatened with disciplinary action in the last 2 months after exposing alleged irregular contracts costing the pensions administrator more than 1.2 billion rand. That's crazy. The employee declined to authorize upfront payment in a contract with Jicho Consulting, which was awarded a contract to provide. Anyway, wow. The corruption just never ends in South Africa. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Fassi to start at fullback. Ooh, what happened there? Did Villy get injured? Oh. Villy LaRue suffered a niggle and was not recovered in time. So Villy is not playing on Saturday, so Fassi's back. Well, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. So that means Fassi at fullback, Keenan Moody on the right wing, Jesse Creel as a captain with Damien De Allende in the center. That'd be a good matchup. Cheslin Colby Mighty Mouse is back on the left wing. Henri Pollard, Grant Williams, Jean-Luc Deprier, Franco Mostard, Marco van Staden, Escom. The locks are Ron Nortkia, Arge Stamen. And the front row is Thomas Dutoy, Thomas the Tank, Malcolm Marks, and Oxen Che. It's a good front row. Off the bench, Marnus van der Merwe, Bon Venter, and Vilko Low. No Asanate Lamakanya. Eben Etzebeth, Lut Diager, Quagga Smith, Kobus Reinach, and Sasha Feinberg Zulu. So there you go. What is this? I'm trying to, as an alternative to get the letter from Very Useless Home Affairs, though I'm not sure what you're talking about, Fitnut. Okay, I missed that conversation. Apologies for that. Okay, so 98. Wow, we're going to break triple digits, or 96. Oh, we almost got to 100. Damn it. Thought we were going to get there. Thought we might get there. Shame. Oh, so much for that idea. Okay, Gavin Newsom signs California's redistricting plan as Texas finalizes new maps. So California is going to try to take out the handful of Republicans they have by rezoning their state. They're just evil, corrupt bastards. There was no redistricting taking place in California. Now they're doing it to be spiteful. It just shows you how fragile the concept of democracy is. Yep, how fragile it is. Again, the big news from the U.S. is a federal judge says that the Alligator Alcatraz has to be shut down. And of course, yesterday, Trump won his appeal. The $500 million judgment against him was thrown out because it was excessive in violation of the 8th Amendment of the Constitution, which is something I told people all along. And we're dropping. We didn't get to a triple digits. We're down to 94 now. Well, that sucks. So, oh my goodness, this idiot, is that who I think it is? California polls represent, oh, what's going on here? Oh, come on. I gotta sign in. Bastards. Pay you. I shouldn't have to sign in all the time. Okay, good, it had me. Former Representative Katie Porter among the favorites, but Porto, who was first? Okay. Democrat Katie Porter and Republican Chad Bianco are the leading candidates in a race to succeed Gavin Newsom. In a sample of 1,445 randomly selected voters taken from July 20th to August 12th, the former Congresswoman captured a larger share, 30%. Huh. So what did he get? Bianco. So it says, but it doesn't say what Bianco has for percentage. Isn't that nice? Why don't you tell us what his percentage is? The grifter-in-chief is looking for clarity on his security guarantees. Retired Lieutenant General Kellogg said the United States Secretary of State Marco Rubio is spearheading an effort to draft security guarantees for Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he wants to get clarity within the next 10 days on the nature of security guarantees before he agrees to a meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. But that's not unreasonable. Not unreasonable. We should expect those guarantees before he has that meeting with Putin. Fair enough. I don't have a problem with that. Anyway, so now we're down to 90. People are disappearing left and right. What happened? Did we fart? Did somebody fart? I don't smell anything. Okay. What they're doing right now, like as we speak, they're looking at security guarantees. What they actually look at and bring in a list of options. Okay, that's stupid stuff there. You hear that. All right, what else we got here? This is from the Epic Times, by the way. Taiwan's fight against Beijing's silent invasion. California Parole Board denies parole for Eric Mendez. That's the Menendez brothers. They're going to settle on his brother's parole as well. And Trump visited the police and National Guard in Washington, D.C., thanking them for what they're doing for the country. Well, for the District of Columbia, I should say. More than 450 arrests have been made since the federal takeover of D.C. policing. Well, that's good. Keep arresting these scumbags. Lock them up. Put them in jail. And these kids, deal with them. Supreme Court will allow President Trump to revoke DEI-related NIH grants. So the National Institutes for Health, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion grants are being removed, and the court allows that. Of course the court should allow it. Why would they ever stop it? Huh. Interesting. U.S. Navy sailor convicted of spying for China. What the hell? He was paid more than $12,000 by a Chinese intelligence officer. He betrayed our country for $12,000. A Navy sailor, did they say officer? No, they said sailor, okay. Navy sailor was convicted on August 20th for spying for China and selling sensitive information. Wei Qinchao, a U.S. sailor, also goes by the name Patrick Wei, was born in China and became a naturalized citizen in 2022. Seriously? We let these scumbags in our country? He's not an American. Put him in prison forever or execute him. Take your choice. Oh, we went over 100 finally. Anyway, that's not an American. Wei Chin Chow, 25, a naturalized American citizen and a spy for China. Became a citizen 3 years ago. You see what happens? You see what demon rats do? They let these people in our country who are not loyal to our country, or no fealty to our country, and then they betray us, the Chinese. Yep. Yep, he's arrested on espionage charges in August of 2023. He hadn't even been a citizen for a year when he's arrested for spying for China. He's charged with 7 criminal counts of superseding indictment in February 2024, in which prosecutors noted he held a security clearance granting him access to classified materials. How in the hell do you give a Chinese national who becomes a naturalized American citizen access to classified information a year after they become a citizen? What the fuck? Seriously? This is ridiculous. The defendant's actions represent an egregious betrayal of the trust placed in them as a member of the U.S. military. I think there's an egregious breach of trust by the morons who granted this person naturalization and who gave him access to the military and then gave him access to classified information. What kind of stupidity? This is suicide. This is suicide by a nation. Absolute ridiculous. All right, folks, I got to wrap up. Got to check out of the hotel now. So you guys take care, and I'll catch you later today. I have a video premiering later this afternoon. I might do some shorts, but I'm probably not going to be doing any lives because I've got the game this evening, okay? So we'll chat maybe late tonight at the earliest. Ciao.